Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the StarCraft Evolution League, the SCL number 21, your bi-weekly dose of StarCraft Evolution content. I'm of course just VIP with him, joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome one and all to a replay cast, and I believe the final replay cast for StarCraft Evolution League. Once again, we did announce that we did go over it last week during the podcast that the SCL is going to be discontinued into the open tournament format. They're going to be switching to a Code S format instead, into a league format, if you will, with qualifiers, with invitational, with invites, with a big constructed group stage and a league instead in a seasonal format. So that is going to be on the horizon. Until then, though, I believe this is the final Open Cup, at least for StarCraft Evolution League. I think there's like a Code A as well, but regardless, we're ready to jump in. We're ready to jump on in. Here we go. Again, there's a replay broadcast, and we're jumping into the quarterfinals. Up first, we have Classic versus 3Point. Again, it's been a pretty intense couple of days. It's been non-stop StarCraft. Last night, we were live casting GSL. If you missed it, I do recommend it. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun live casting GSL, which typically, we've been covering GSL for a couple of years now, but usually it's via replays. But shout out to Soup for reaching out and for allowing us to cover it live instead with a clean feed. Beautiful, man, beautiful. So again, that was over on Soup. We should be able to rebroadcast that here on Twitch and YouTube within the next couple of days. There is a bit of a cooldown period where we're restricted. We cannot upload that yet, but in a couple of days' time, we'll be able to do so over the weekend. Meanwhile, speaking of, later on tonight, more GSL. True. Day 2, Group B of GSL is going to be later on tonight as well. But for now, we're focusing on StarCraft Evolution, and we have our initial series. Again, Classic versus 3Point. Game 1 is going to be on Ruby Rock. Let's go. For those tuning in for the first time, for those who are unaware, StarCraft Evolution is a mod here in StarCraft 2 that does pit together Brood War versus SC2. It does pit them together against each other. Bienvenidos. And it is actively worked upon, of course, actively patched, actively is facilitated, and likewise we even have some active players as well from the pro StarCraft 2 scene, like Classic, like Solar, like 3Point, like Bjorn, etc. Mainly a lot of the Koreans did embrace StarCraft Evolution more so than the foreigners, than like players outside of Korea. But regardless, we're jumping on in and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Protoss Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg player from South Korea. It is 3Point. I'll fix that. Hold on un momento, Fabi, un momento. Beautiful. Here we go. So we have our best of 3 here, and we have our DVP. 3Point, of course, playing Brood War Zerg. Meanwhile, Classic playing SC2 Protoss. And we'll see how 3Point will approach this. So far, it does open up hatch first. Is going to be hatchery blocked here by the probe. Is going to be forced to expand here over towards the left-hand side. So nice block at a Classic, forcing some inefficiencies here at a 3Point. And it's going to be that much more brutal here for a Brood War Zerg player, I feel, to defend both multiple locations at once. I feel like in early game DVP, it is crucial to get your wall up and running at the natural. This is brutal. We have a 2-gate follow-up here by Classic and 3Point. He is in danger. Yeah, he is in trouble. Once again, as we were mentioning, to not have your hatchery in the low ground, to not start walling off here at the natural base as well, there's going to be a massive entrance, and trying to defend here on 2 bases when you're split with only slow lings, it's going to be brutal. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how many losses 3Point will sustain. We'll see if he can hold on. We'll see if he can defend. Let's go. Let us go. Bienvenidos, Josh. Also, Acris Cruz. Bienvenidos. As again, we have our 2 gateways finishing up, waiting for the cyber core. Then we can send out a double adept, then more adepts, and then we just keep sending adepts, baby. We can go up to 6, 2, 4, and then 6. We'll see when Classic does stop. And again, like, I'll be very impressed if 3Point can minimize losses here, just considering typically how imperative it is to set up your SimCity and to set up your wall off. We shall see as adepts are on the way. Link speed, of course, has begun. Link speed is on the way. Here come reinforcements. As you mentioned, yep, we have the next pair of adepts. So Classic does make his way across the map. So yeah, that's a lot of Zerglings. Mining is going to be denied, and you can already see here this is indifferent damage. May not be killing any Germans, but he's forced out so many Zerglings here out of 3 points purely just because of the double adept opener and the SimCity as well, and the initial openers, the initial setup. Doesn't quite commit in. Link speed is almost done. Classic pulls away. It should be able to reinforce though with another set of adepts. He's coming in. Once again, threatening a shade, catching out one of the larvae. Lings they commit in. He comes in with a surround. Oh, not bad. Does surround. It does clean up. Whew. Yeah, we'll force a recall. Despite that, not a single adept will be saved. All 4 adepts will fall, and Classic does slip up here. Classic, he got surrounded. He wasn't quite able to hug against the wall in time. And this is good damage here by 3-point, but once again, as you mentioned, 3-point was forced not to drone. But at least he does survive. Does survive. Does zone away. Behind this, we have our Twilight Council follow-up. We're imagining Glaive Adepts here from Classic. We'll see. Twilight Council's on the way. Extra gateways being thrown down. Hyper-aggressive by Classic. By this setup, I wouldn't be surprised if we throw down another pair. Another pair of gateways. So far, it's going to be 4. We should be going up to 6. Depending on how committed we're going to be, of course. It's a very hefty gateway kind of early on. Is going to be charged. Oh, okay. Going for minimal gases here. No gases at the natural. No, now taking them, which means we should be taking up. So now we see why there's no extra gateways. We should be working towards the Templar Archives. Eyes are on Classic. Yep, there it is. Templar Archives on the way. As you mentioned, the gases did indicate further tech and Archons. Templar Archives on the way. Now, from this point, we can still make the decision here to either expand or throw down extra gateways. So, curious here. And the answer is extra gateways. So, yeah, 2 base all in. 2 base all in, 6 gate setup here from Classic. 6 gateways, charge, Archon production as well. Bearing in mind, I believe this should be hitting with Archons, not with Storm, just to hit that much faster. One thing that we are missing that is going to stifle this is lack of Robo, lack of War Prism. So, there's no way to reinforce across the map or to juggle units across the map either. Oh, as we do begin Storm. Okay. This is going to delay the push, though. As I assumed that we were going to be finishing up I assumed we were going to be pushing as Charge finishes up, but no, that's not quite the case. We are looking to break out. And this does mean that 3-point gets away with the Spire. My assumption here was that Classic was going to be pushing much faster to get across the map and to punish his opponent for taking up. But no, here the Spire is now done. Mutas have arrived. And without Blink Stalkers, it's going to be a tough hold for Classic. Classic, he has a very limited anti-air. And by that, I mean he has nothing. He has 1 Stalker. He has 1 Stalker. He has 1 Sentry. He has a couple of Archons morphing in. Yeah, the Mutas, they just overwhelmed. They shut down the Sentry, the Stalker, the everything. Yeah, free damage on the Zealots. You can make an argument that maybe we could have gone into the mineral line after catching out the Stalker, but regardless, yeah, chases down the Zealots, still value, still damage. They're buying a lot of time. They're dragging 3-point all the way back home, especially with all these Zergling reinforcements. Yeah, the Mutas, they could have been sent across the map. Back at home, we have double Stargate. We have the Stargate in the way, I should say. Archon Stalker here at the natural. And Mute is where we headed. But again, Classic is on the back foot. He just cannot expand. And from here, 3-point should be able to freely drone up. We should be seeing 3-point saturate his 3rd base and start working towards the 4th. The low drone count is concerning me, though. Like, he's doing a great job containing, but 3-point is still not droning. As I'll say, trade well. He's going to be picking in. He's going to take an Archon shot to the face. Hopefully we don't do that again, as the muses are quite low after that shot. And muses never went into the main base mineral line. I'm a little bit surprised. They were fixated here on the natural, but the main base was exposed. Not anymore. Yeah, so these muses have been a little bit lackluster. There was a lot of potential, more damage, a lot more potential. And 3-point is still not droning. Like, he's still not saturating. So he's not really claiming a lead he otherwise should have by containing his opponent. As he still stays on a very low drone count. Okay, now we're droning up. Classic going for the ninja base. When he wants that +1. And he's still committed. Behind this, going into his own queen. We're getting ready for, I would imagine, Hive Tech. Can go for queen production as well. Oh! Catching out a Stalker. +1 is denied. Does not +1. Yep, going for queen production, going for ensnare. Will help catch out the phoenixes, I guess. I mean, ensnare will help, but we still have to respect those archons. Okay, nice control. Oh! It's very clutch micro here from Classic, picking up another muta. As behind this, 3-point is still not fully droning up here. And does find the ninja base at least. Does find the ninja. Knocks down the expansion. Classic, he breaks out. .3 is going to be committing in. Bearing in mind, Storm is done, but I don't think there are any High Templar. Yeah, 0 Templars, 0 Storms. Oh, the army, it's going to get surrounded. Yeah, the army does get caught out. No, despite that, Muse, they do focus out both Archons. Very nice target firing. Yeah, both Archons go down. And without a ground army, yeah, there's no expansion. There's no expansion. From here, 3-point is snowballing out of control. I would say that this was a messy mid-game out of 3-point. Very, very messy, but I mean, he's still getting what he needs, right? He's still denying the expansion, taking another hatchery himself. He, for the most part, hasn't lost his main flock of mutas. And Classic's Archon was reset. Right now, he barely has a ground army. Again, you can also see how much more difficult the Phoenix Micro is against the Brutal Mutalisk. As of course, the room for error is much smaller. Much smaller. Oh. Likewise, with that ensnare, he will get caught out. Oh no, yeah, speaking of, his left idle. Left idle losing 1, 2, 3 more Phoenixes. And with that 3-point, he has done it. He has simply got control of the Phoenix count. It's not really too threatening. Plenty of Lings, cannot expand. 3-point did still stay on a very low drone count, but it's fine. It's it is fine at this point. Diving in, gets 1, 2, 3 more Phoenixes, 4, 5, it almost resets the Phoenix counts. Resets the Phoenixes. No. And I just collapse in. I does collapse in. Catching out 2 more once again, does focus by the Archons. And with that, we'll overwhelm. We'll overwhelm the third base. Once again, force a cancel. And even though it's going to be difficult to push into the bases, at this point, I feel like we can. Yeah, there's only 3 Phoenixes. GG gets called, and 3-point takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Once again, I feel like this shows even more greatly the disparity and the difference between the responses required against the Brood War Muta and the SC2 Muta. I was mentioning how like the room for error is much more brutal and much more punishing. What I meant by that is that the Mutalisk, the Brood War Mutalisk, does have extra range compared to the SC2 Mutalisk. So going into a Phoenix response like that, it is a little bit more difficult to really gain control of the skies and really gain control of the Mutas. It was just a difficult start though to begin with for Classic, bearing in mind he did open up charge, not blink. If he had gone for a blink based opener and a blink based kind of core of the army, then he would have more anti-air and he would have had a much stronger start against the Mutalisk. But he was stuck with charge lots, he was stuck with High Templar as well, so he couldn't really hold his own. I would say that given the position that we were in here, there's probably more value in going for a heavier Archon count and having them in multiple locations to keep up with the Mutas instead of staying on 2. If you remember, he was stuck on 2 Archons for a very long time and he never really secured a higher ground force, when I feel like most likely against Brutal Mutalisk you do probably need more of a supportive ground army there to support your Phoenixes instead of just purely relying on Phoenixes, which is more of an SC2 response. But it is like a learning curve, I should say. GG. GG, well played. With that 3-point, does take in number 1, and now we're going to be loading into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. So we are loading into game 2 here, and 3-point, he does take a lead. Does take a lead. Let's go. Like 3-point, get more confidence. I mean, we did mention that specifically when it comes to, like, I would say mineral line aggression, there was definitely opportunities to go into the bases and to go into the mineral lines to harass. So yeah, more secure damage. But here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner. On the top side of Sylphid, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss down in the series, representing Virtus Pro. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is Classic. And a big shout out to Agnes Cruz in the chat for gifting a sub to the community. God, yeah, thanks so much for gifting a sub. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have going for the 12 pool. We have the Brood War Zerg player representing Team Hyper 1. It is 3-point. Let's go. So going for the 12 pool, we're going for a hyper aggressive start here from the side of 3-point. Drone scout towards the bottom left to look for his opponents, bearing in mind this is a 3-player spawn map. You can spawn in top side, right side, and left side, and Classic is currently unaware as to the aggression that 3-point is going for. A big risk, a big gamble comes with 3-player spawn maps. Now Classic is of course aware of the 3-point spawn location, so it's 3-point. As the pool is done, the lings are amassing, and I'm curious if we pull the boys with this as well. We may just pull the boys. Yep, there we go. He does. Boys are being pulled. It's all or nothing. Classic back at it. Oh no, the wall's being disrupted. Oh no. Yeah, the wall is going to be denied. Oh, does barely wall off in time, but again, this is going to be a later wall. Later wall, less HP, and also it is a little bit more disrupted. It's also being chronoed. The boys are coming. The boys back. We definitely could have delayed the wall off a little bit further there. We were a little bit more attentive with the drone. You see Classic setting up a secondary wall. And we're getting on top of the forge. Yeah, the Forge taking a lot of hits. Nice stacking. A couple more volleys. Now Forge will go down. We will get a cannon though. There's going to be one cannon out. Yeah, there is going to be that one cannon. Second cannon's on the way. Gateway has fallen. Oh, another wall! Oh my god, he does get in, and the cannon is exposed. Cannon goes down. There's only one cannon on the way, and 3-point has done it. Yeah, 3-point he has done it. He will kill that Forge. Comes in for the surround. Has to be careful not to get surrounded though. And he does have to take care. Nice work of drilling here by Classic, getting on top of the Zerglings. Zealot does get surrounded, and the Zealot will go down. Just barely. Lings are coming from behind. And 3-point has done it. Yeah, 3-point he has done it. He surrounds the army. 0 cannons. We have a second Zealot on the way, but the first one gets surrounded. And likewise, we have no probes. Right, there's one worker left here. for Classic. 3-point, he's still rallying across the map. Now he goes back home to mine. And now 3-point can just focus on the final workers. There's 2 probes left. Down to 2. Down to 1. And then down to 0. GG gets called. And 3-point, he will claim this series 2-0, knocking out Classic. GG. Whew. GG, well played. 3-point does break through, does overwhelm. Again, Classic did mess up his wall. Winding it back, if you remember, Classic threw down his initial wall off, then he threw down the cannon, but as you saw, there was actually a little alleyway to go straight in to dive on said cannon. So the SimCity there was lacking increased service area on the cannon as well, made it easier to break on through. And not just that, but also the drone was even able to delay that initial wall off as well to make sure there was a little bit less HP on said forge. So it all kind of came together there. It all snowballed out of control. And with that, GG, well played. With that, 3-point does knock Classic out of SCL. As you in the chat, Jakov style, pretty much. If you were here last night, or I guess yesterday, 24 hours ago, we were casting during the PvZ Cup Shin versus Jakov, and Jakov, it was like a 10-minute series. Jakov, he just 12 pulled drone pulled Shin and knocked him the hell out. Let's go, baby, let's go. 3-point has been watching Jakov. True. Been watching. Cap. But GG, well played. With that, 3-point does claim the series. As advanced on to the semifinals, Classic is out of SEL. Once again, when it comes to the series itself, I do feel like Classic was, it was just a really rough game one, start to game one, by going into charge and by going up against the mutas, unscouted of course, so it was a really rough setup there, as he was not aware of what he was up against. But likewise, the Phoenix response does feel maybe a little bit subpar in StarCraft Evolution. Likewise, here in game 2, RNG, right? Another big factor, of course, is that Classic, he scouted bottom left first instead of bottom right, and that is some of the RNG nature of a 3-player spawn map as well. True. Also does factor in. But we're going to be jumping into our next series. It's going to be a best of 3 between Solar and Cure. We mentioned previously that Cure, he's one of the other newer players to kind of be indoctrinated into StarCraft Evolution. He's been playing a little bit more as of late as a bit of a newer face to the SE Evo player pool. So great to see a little bit more Cure. As you mentioned, some of the newer players to embrace StarCraft Evolution are Solar, Cure, Creator, and Rogue. I'll say those are the players we've been seeing a little bit more of as of late. Un poquito más.